Most people are still picking altcoins in 2026 the exact same way they did in 21, and that's why they're still losing money. They chase narratives on Twitter, ape into whatever's pumping at the time being, and then they hope to get lucky. Meanwhile, the real edge has completely changed in crypto, and you have to take advantage of it. The people that are actually finding the best altcoins right now, they're not just guessing, they're using AI to do the research at a level normal traders and investors cannot compete with. And they're finding gems before the entire rest of the market and before these coins go parabolic. This is the first part of a series where I'm going to give you my complete AI-powered research framework, the thought process behind it, and the exact system that I use to filter through hundreds of these different projects and find the ones with the real potential in 2026. And the first question that you must ask yourself anytime that you're looking at a new project, what is the problem and the use case that this thing is even trying to fix? Now, the first website I want to highlight on this episode is Messari. Messari is an enterprise-grade data hub that does have a fully encompassed overscope of a lot of things within each crypto project, such as the white paper, the team foundation, the investor backing, and a lot of inside details that most people don't have access to. The thing is the enterprise costs right around $5,000 a year, and a lot of people just wanting to get involved with crypto don't have that access point yet. So I'm going to teach you a little bit of inside baseball on how to actually get around this system in this video. Honestly, I'm giving away some pretty good information for literally just the cost of your time. So let's dive into it. Obviously, as I said, Messari is a very good landing point to find basic information. And if you want to go further into it and upgrade to their enterprise system, that's a big chunk of change. But there are ways around this. On any given project, most of them on CoinMarketCap have their white paper listed within the CoinMarketCap data hub. You go to the actual page and scroll down, you see this little button. It says white paper. You click on it. It'll actually take you to the contents where you can find the white paper and the specific contract address so that you don't fall for buying the wrong coin thinking that it's the one you wanted. Now, whether you have Claude or Grok or any type of robust AI agent at your disposal, you can make it very simple on yourself when you hone in on the white paper by simply asking the AI agent to scrub the internet and find the exact white paper document for you. Then you let your robot do the work for you and it comes up with the answer. It doesn't actually have a traditional white paper per se, like many early crypto projects, simply a direction to the documentation within the Ondo website. And this is where you can actually find the details of everything behind the token. So in a flash, I didn't have to spend 20 minutes, maybe even an hour, looking around CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, looking for this white paper. It doesn't exist. It's simply the information listed on their website. But then you hand all the information and the documentation of Ondo token from the website directly to your AI agent, be it Claude or Grok, and have it scrub all of the data to find out vesting schedules, to find out all of the dirty details behind the token to make sure you're not investing into a trap. Let's talk about something else within this. And I'll stick with Ondo as just a good example of this. You're looking to see if value is coming to the chain and actual involvement with what the project is doing is turning into project value, token value. Because as I've seen with many, many different projects in crypto's past, the TVL can look incredible. But if that value is not translated to the token holders, it means nothing for the people that actually believe in it. One of my favorite spots to check in just baseline data of the total value locked within any crypto project, but for this example, we're going to stick on Ondo, is DeFi Llama. Now, you hop on over to DeFi Llama, you type in Ondo into the search bar, and it'll give you a lot of data, basically going from the TVL, the revenue, the fees, everything involved with the project. And as you can see, I'm going to turn the fees off so you can get a visual. The TVL has gone absolutely parabolic, but there's a problem here. Is that the TVL has gone absolutely parabolic on DeFi Llama's data, but something is happening on the price chart. The price is not good. TVL, great. Price, not good. Why is that, might you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. The token value capture is basically sitting at nil for Ondo token. And as I mentioned with crypto, the devil is usually within the details. And here is just a very baseline analysis of exactly why this is happening. Ondo token has basically no value capture. The fees and the revenue from Ondo's growing products like the USDY, OUSG, and the tokenized stocks go to the operating company. or the foundation instead of the token holders. This is what people keep falling for time and time again. Now, yes, Ondo, if it keeps the doors open and keeps floating into the next iteration of a larger crypto bull market, it'll have some pumps. But generally speaking, it is basically just a governance token as things sit right now. There's no revenue share. There's no automatic fee switch turned on for token holders, but this is subject to change. And another reason why you need to have an AI agent in the background working for you to make sure it doesn't miss any changes to the structure of the Ondo token, because if that value capture is turned on, say over the course of the next few years, and you're left sleeping on it, you don't catch it, then you're going to be left missing the boat when the good times actually come back. And I'm not saying that that's a probability for Ondo token either, but it is a possibility. And I've seen it time and time again in crypto where you go to sleep on a project, you give up, the governance of the token, the structure of it has changed, and all of a sudden the thing begins to moon. Another fantastic tool that I have in my tool belt is Artemis.ai. It's a fantastic website that gives a very good, concise overscope where you can compare different chains to each other to see which crypto is outpacing the pack. On the landing page, it's pretty simple. You got basic prices of the token and general price movements of the day. But you go to sectors there on the left-hand side of the screen, and then you can actually separate everything by sector. You can look at agentic AI payments. You can go over to bridges and check out what bridges within crypto are finding the most transactional volume. You can also hone in specifically on a chain that you want to check out. Now, for this instance, we have Solana highlighted in the green and VeChain in the blue. Now, obviously, Solana and VeChain are much different market caps, but largely, you can actually go through this information and see if the daily active users are on the rise, the fees are on the rise, which they're not, but chain transactions, revenue, all of these different things can be found within Artemis.ai. And this is a good place. Let's say I was in a situation where I don't know if I should get rid of Cardano for this new hot token Hyperliquid. I can go to Artemis and compare the two directly. And if you go ahead and do so, adding Hyperliquid and Cardano right here with this button where it says add, very simple, you can see that the picture is crystal clear. The market caps have flipped each other. Hyperliquid is now a larger market cap. You can see daily active users on a sharp decline, yes, for both, but near a dead zone for Cardano, hitting here in January to about March of 2026, which should signal some concerns. This actually happened before the large price collapse. And then you can go over to chain transactions and revenue, as well as being positioned in the hot niche of crypto. Crypto is much like migratory birds. The hottest new thing over the next few years is what the birds flock to. Oftentimes they're leaving positions in ecosystems that are dead and will never return. And yes, this is a lot of information to keep up with. I completely understand. At the end of the video, I got a special solution that we are working on in the background. I'll tell you all about. Then you have to look at the team track record. Has this team delivered successful projects in the past, or are they simply dumping their wallets of their insider tokens that they've captured early on? I'm going to give you two different perspectives for this. One is figuring out who actually had a part in developing the project, and the second part is actually figuring out how to track those wallets of those early founders to make sure they're not using you as direct exit liquidity. Speaking of exit liquidity, let's use XRP as an example in this section. The very easy way to look at a foundation's history and its background, you start off on CoinMarketCap. Obviously, you have a direct link to their website here, but if you keep scrolling down, it'll give you an option to actually look at the history of the project, not just the community. They're always going to feel bullish about it. They never will stop. We're going down to who the hell made this project to begin with. All the way at the bottom, what is XRP Ledger? Now, who are the founders of XRP Ledger also listed here? And it is a good sign to see any project openly listing its original founding membership. David Schwartz, Jeb McCaleb, Arthur Brito launched XRP Ledger with its native currency XRP as a faster, more efficient alternative in 2012. Now, we take a look a little bit deeper into the website of XRP in the actual XRPL. This is xrpl.org in their history section. It'll give you a long diatribe of the timeline, the development of the XRP token, and it'll go into all this detail. But what you can do beyond this is you can actually go to Arc of Intelligence and see if these founding members have been dumping. So obviously, I jab the robot under my table with the stick, and I get it to find all of the wallet movements of these original founders on Arkham Intelligence. And lo and behold, on Arkham Intelligence, all you have to do is type in Ripple to find this main wallet address that's been tagged by Arkham itself. Now, here in the transfers portion, you can find inflows of tokens coming into the wallet and outflows where tokens are leaving the wallet. As you can see, 30 minutes ago, there's right around $3 million in RLUSD that was sent. And there's a lot of movements that'll be highlighted in this. Really, you could look at even the US government, let's say. You could look at Binance. You could look at World Liberty Fi. Really, any major entity in crypto is marked and tagged here on Arkham Intelligence. And it's quite a useful tool to keep up with all of the major transactions that are happening. Now, another thing you'll want your Claude or Grok agent to do is to scrub how much of the original XRP token was actually controlled by Ripple from the get-go. And you will find some information that might be terrifying if you do so. Let me just tell you, it's not great. Some might feel that I'm choosing violence in this release of information, but rather I choose data. I choose the reality of the world that we live in, and I'm here to give that information, that power, to whoever is willing to listen. Now, here's where I kind of dive into the massive caveat of this conversation we're having here. There is nuance between all of these different aggregators of information. Some are missing revenue, some are missing fees, and some are missing really any information at all on a given project. This is why it's so important to have AI on your team to aggregate all of the data that it has access to and give you a concise report on exactly what the heck's happening here. And to kind of paint this picture of how many different strong tools there are in crypto to keep up with all the information, I'm going to show you. Then you have Skynet, Certic, that is very good for tracking longevity of projects, geolocations of users, etc., and total transactions. Obviously, as I previously covered, you have Masari, which is an enterprise-grade product. Obviously, you have Masari, which is an enterprise-grade product. Then DeFi Llama, which honestly is kind of the GOAT for a lot of the information that I need to find, but it does miss some key points. Then you have Artemis.ai, very strong comparison to DeFi Llama with its own strengths and weaknesses. But then the devil in the detail with a lot of these projects is the token unlocks. And my favorite website to keep up with all the token unlocks is tokenomist.ai. And this, I have an Ondo as an example. Once again, they just keep, that's the gift that keeps on giving. This is the token unlock schedule for Ondo. And as you can see, if you go to tokenomist.ai, search up Ondo, you will see the exact token unlock schedule with a massive cliff hitting in January of 2027. But again, Tokenomist doesn't have everything. You can also use tokenterminal.com to find out tokenomic data. You can hop on over to Lunar Crush to track all of the social engagement and all of the traction of general communities there. And then you get into the real degen realm of Dex Screener. And then you get into the real degen realm of Dex Screener. Now, I'm just using Ansem as a quick example here. It's a new meme coin that kind of took the world by storm. I have no interest in this token, and I think it's probably going to die. But this is what you can use Dex Screener for. So let's say you heard about Ansem token, you went to CoinMarketCap, just to, for the love of God, make sure that you're actually looking at the right project here. So you go to CoinMarketCap, scroll down, and pull the contract address right here in contracts, copy that, and then hop back over to Dex Screener and double check. Make sure that you're looking at the right contract address because there are many fake projects that are even bigger scams than the actual ones. Now, here it is, Ansem. And we hop on down here, and this is some interesting information that you can find. You can actually go to chart and transactions. Here, you can see all of the different transactions as they happen in live time. You can also go to top traders and see who has made the most amount of money on this particular project. And within this, you can go to KOLs. You can find out all of the direct KOLs behind this token, who's been pushing it, who's got early allocations. Then you hop on over to holders. Now, when you go to holders section, this is going to be something that throws people off. You're going to see some tokens like Ansem where it's only a 0.64% of one of the top holders. This would, at the front end, look like this is kind of a distributed project, right? Well, wrong! You go over to Bubble Maps and you hop onto Bubble Maps and see where the cluster of these tokens actually sit. And it looks like you just got cancer. So with all this information and all of the data, even more that I'm not even bringing up to you because it's just simply overwhelming, I want to let you know about a solution we're working on. Inside of our school, Discover Crypto Investing OS, we have a tool that aggregates all of this data and information for me and our community members, a tool that can scrub the internet for any changes to governance, any changes to revenue or fee structures, and all of the insider holder information. Really anything that I want to find out about a given token is literally at my fingertips without having to go through the 30 to 50 different websites that are out there that I have used as a researcher of crypto for over 8 years to stay ahead of the pack, and actually came out pretty good just with my own human abilities. But now that I have AI, it's literally compounded that ability by 10x. And I implore you to go into school and just see what we're developing here. The main pain point that I hear from more people than not is that it's just too much information. I just want to listen to some KOL on X tell me what to buy, and they end up being exit liquidity time and time again. This power of massive data research is at your fingertips. Click the link in our description and join our school and take this power for yourself. I'll see you in there. And I'll see you on the next part of this series. Stay safe.